Hello everyone. So I wanted to do this video for showing you my workflow on how to create this morph because same here. When I started, I didn't find like a good tutorial video or even a good tutorial in a forum explaining, hey, here how to do awesome muscle morph or even morph with high details using displacement map. It was some searching, some experimenting with already made morph from other great artists, and some discussion with really talented creators. So at this time, I was talking with Petit Pois that make amazing arts on Deviant art, and he explained me how he made his character. So he told me, yeah, you need to do displacement map in Zbrush or Blender. Apply that. After that, apply it to your character. Create a GCM. This is another topic that I'm still experimenting. GCM are drone control morph. So they are morph that apply when you move a body parts, like you're flexing the forearms, your biceps expand. They are difficult to make, they require a lot of time, especially when you go bigger in terms of muscle. But this is another topic. So I'm here in DAZ Studio. I'm I'm working with Zbrush. So Zbrush is not a free software. I know that you can also work with Blender. I prefer to work with Zbrush because I prefer Zbrush. I have a better feeling. It takes me a long time to I was going to say to master it, but absolutely not master it. It's way too complex for that. But to be confident to use it. Voilà. Uh, Blender is a little easier to learn, but it's free. But it's not easier. It's not that easy to work in my workflow because you need to export, import OBJ. You're going to see that working with ZBrush is really easy. So I start with a default character. You can add morph if you want. It doesn't change things that you start from a default character or a character already modded with other created morph, even mine. Like I can apply my morph if you want, if I have some, because in Genesis 9 I don't have to so much. No. Yeah, you can see that sometimes your morph that are built on top of morphed body, when you apply them on default character, you make weird shit. We're going to stay with the default character because the other ones are the same, I think. We can try, but no, this one work. Okay, we're going to start with this one. So for going to ZBrush, only go to File, Send to ZBrush. It's going to send a file to ZBrush. If I go in ZBrush now, I'm really starting from so my interface is a little different because you can customize it. It's really easy to do. You have a lot of tutorials on YouTube on how to do it. When you have send your file from DAZ to ZBrush, the only one thing that you need to do is click, not click. Okay. Yes. The reason why, because this little information box was on my other screen, so I didn't see it. But yeah, you need to accept, so export with this information, export at current resolution. So never export at current resolution. The reason why, the current resolution it does is like a medium resolution. So you are not in high definition resolution on your body, and you are not in low definition resolution. The problem is DAZ has blocked the medium resolution import in DAZ. So you cannot import a morph on a medium resolution body or even in a high resolution body. This option is reserved to DAZ published artists. You have a special DAZ version where you can import this type of morph. So if you don't click on that, it's going to export the basic character resolution to Zbrush. And we can work with that. We can make our displacement map. And when we are finished, we can send back this basic definition to DAZ. And DAZ is going to accept that. So export with deformation. I let it click. I don't really know what it does, but I've seen that I've seen over tutorial that if you click that, and I use it, and it works. Sorry about that. So I accept it, and now you can see that automatically we switch to Zbrush. You have seen on top of the screen that you have imported and switched things. So now you can click in the middle of the screen, and you have the character. So now, like a really quick explanation on how to work with ZBrush and how I work with ZBrush. So now, if you try to draw on the body, it's not going to work. What it's going to do is import again the body, so you can make a lot of them. It's not what we want. We want to sculpt on the body. So I'm just going to clean the document. No, I don't want to change it. I'm going to go back in DAZ and send it back. Send to ZBrush, accept, importing, reading, okay, go. So I click one time. After that, you need to go in edit mode. So this button should be on your top bar in the default layout. So you look for this button, you click on edit. Now you can edit and you're going to edit the model. You see that my cursor now follows the curve of the 3D models. If I draw now, we are going to see I'm in Zbrush. Up, I've made a beautiful morph. No, I'm kidding. But it's only on one side of the body. So I'm going to make a Control Z to go back one time. So this is your history bar. It's really useful this in ZBrush. I really wish that Blender had that. And for me, I've put activate symmetry here. So before we do that, I'm just going to frame the view to have a better view. Up. So you should have this option in your in this bar. I removed a lot of other options that are not useful in my workflow. So I only use the frame, zoom, rotate object, and move edited object. This one is like a 45-90 degree view. And if you want to move 3D your character, you just need to click on a free space. And you can move your character. If you zoom so much that you only see your character, like if I try to move my screen now, I'm deforming, I'm drawing on the character. It's not working. For doing that, you can go just after this line on all of the window, and you see that my turn mouse appear, and now I can move my character. So here, like a quick introduction on how to move your character. So for going back to the symmetry, so for activating the symmetry, you're going to go in transform, and here you have activate symmetry. This is the same button. Like you can see that when I hover about it, you can see that it's also hovering about this one. So transform, activate symmetry, X symmetry, and now you can see that I have a second mouse that follow my character in symmetry. So for making my morph, all of my morph are made with this brush and only using this brush. They are the only one that I'm using. The pinch, I'm not really using it. It's a new brush that I try to use it, but the one that I really use are clay tube, dam standard, and clay. So clay tube really add, like you're going to see a brute form. Oh, this is a up. I've done something that I didn't want. Okay. So you can see that my brush is really too big for my character. So for changing the size of my brush, you can make like a right click and you have a little box that appears. You can change your brush size and you can change the intensity of your brush. So if I'm at 49, I'm going to add a lot of matter. If I put my intensity at 6, I'm not adding the same amount of matter, some clay on the character, if you can say that. This brush, I like it for really adding matters on the body, like creating repeat forms. So I keep it really high most of the time and with a good draw size. The reason why is because I'm using a graphic tablet that have a pressure sensitive pen. So I can modulate my pressure and my size. You can see that I'm start small and I go really big. It's really useful, but you can do it with the mouse. I started with the mouse. It's not as convenient that a graphical tablet. So you can see here that when I add morph, if I start now, it's really, really, really low quality because this is the base, the really low version of DAZ. You cannot add really good details with that, but this is the only definition that DAZ let us work with. So if you want to create a beautiful morph, you can't with a free account and not a professional account of DAZ. What we can do is use displacement map. So displacement map are created by Zbrush by making a difference between a low poly models and a high poly models. So we need to have a high poly models. How we do that is by dividing the body. So you can see that actually my body is 41,000 verts, and I'm going to divide. So each little square here are going to be divided by 2. By dividing by 2, because my squares are smaller, I'm going to have a more precise control of the body. So the divide button by default is in Tools, Geometry, Divide. I divide, and you can see that my squares are now smaller. I divide again. I'm already at now at 500 or 400,000 verts or points. And now if I begin to draw on the body, you're going to see this is really more, you have really details. So I usually use a subdive 5. So you can see that if I divide again up, it's begin to be smoother. Like now we can see the square because it's too small for the software to show us. And 5. So 5 is 6 million points. So we started at 40,000 and we are now at 6 million vertex. So now we can really start to sculpt and see details. So the clay tubes, this brush, like now we can see add like small square to your body. This is not really nice to see, but it's really useful to really add forms. Like, okay, if I go back, erase everything. When you go back, you also change the subdiv. So up, going to up in subdiv. And now like the legs are really small. They are not really muscular. So I'm really going to add some mass to it. And you can see that really quickly I can really add some mass to it. And this is why I really like this brush. It's not for adding small details, it's really for adding mass and size. Okay, I'm going to work here a little, blah blah blah. Okay, so now we have a really big run fix. Not really realistic, but this is not the focus of these tutorials. Okay, we can smooth all of our modification. For doing that, you push Shift and you just draw again on your body, and you're going to see that it's going to smooth the frame. It's not changing a lot because you have so many vertex now that it takes a long time to smooth it. If you want to go a little faster, you can go down in subdiv and smooth again. Up, and you're going to see that this is changing a lot more. Like here it's faster. Up. Okay. I reframe it. Go back in subdiv. Okay, so now we have really nice big round uh, figs. So we can smooth a little more. Up for erasing all of my brush. Okay, now if I'm really starting to add details, I'm going to use the clay tool, the clay brush. So this one add clay, but not like with a form. It's like a round form. So it's really round. It's really smooth. You don't really need to smooth it again. And you can work with that. My character, the one with Genesis 9, the fantasy body, was made only with the clay brush. At this time, I didn't know the clay tube, so I only worked with the clay brush. Like up, we're going to see to add some lats. And this is not lats. I forget the name of this muscle, but yeah, you can see that. Okay, rectus firmis, I think this one is. Okay, this one a little on between the figs, something like that. Okay. So really quickly, like we already have a nice muscular fix. Okay, going to smooth it a little. Poop, poop, smooth it. Okay, so we can see some muscle, but this is not like a really, like you can say that, shred body. Not shred, but like is more like of a lifter body. Like we have a lot of mass, but they still have fat in their body, so we don't see a lot of details on their body. Okay, how we how I made my female body. So how I add these details in the body is by using DAM standard. So DAM standard is like crease tools. Is really going to crease your materials. So this is a really large by default. I think I mean default parameter, and up. Yeah, you can see that it's really creasing the muscle. So being large like that, it defends a lot of the body. If I want like something like this is really thin, I change the draw size, like up here. Like you can see that it's not moving. All of this area is not changing. Only the center is changing. So on figs, we don't need this type of details. So I'm going back, poop, 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 back. I'm going back in 28 and yeah, up, up here, a little smooth, up, creating here. Okay, separating this muscle group. Okay, a little here. Okay, so we have created beautiful female bodybuilder legs with a lot of details. But now if we go back in subdiv 1, so this is what you are going to send to DAZ. You lose all of these details, but we cannot change it. We need to work with what we have. So in subdiv 1, I'm going to click on Gozi. So Gozi is going to send back uh, this this character with this definition to DAZ. Up, I send it back. I'm back in DAZ now. It automatically put you back in DAZ, and you have this window that appears. So it's like this is almost the same window that you have in Morph Loader Pro. So you can ever update the bash mesh. So what it's going to do is not creating a morph slider. It's going to directly change the Genesis 9 body and never use it. I prefer to have a morph that I can adjust, deactivate, something like that, and keep it also. Up, if you click on that, you have more options. So this is the name of your morph that is going to appear here. So we're going to call it beautiful figs. The delta tolerance, you don't need to change it. I think is the difference in number of verts between DAZ body and the body that you try to import. I'm not sure about that, but is how I understand it. I never touch it. The property group, this is where DAZ is going to put your morph. So morph Zbrush is going to put it in this tab, if you I don't know how to call it, sorry, and it's going to create a new folder called Zbrush. Create control property, never change it, I don't know what to do, I let it to no. Reverse definition, yes, because what it do, from what I understand, is it makes the calculation from the default body and add your morph. I'm not really clear like that, but I usually always put it in yes. Overwrite is extend, yes, because we want only one morph that is called beautiful figs. So I'm going to make unique. If you already have a morph that is called beautiful figs, it's going to throw you an error and not import your morph. So you need to retry again. If you want to erase an existing morph, you make a right click on it and you click and delta and ERC link, and it's going to erase everything. Morph mirroring none and actuate by none. This is a really useful parameter. Sorry, I was looking for the word. When you try to import a morph but not change all of your character. The best explanation I have is you create a body morph, but you don't want to change your the head morph that you already put on your body. If you started to draw, to sculpt with the base body, with the base head, and you make some modification, send it back, send it again in DAZ, everything. And one time you decided, okay, now I want to change the head of my body. So you add a Victoria 9 head on it. If you import again your morph that is based from the default head in DAZ, it's going to mess with your Victoria 9 head. So what you can do, and you can find really good tutorials on YouTube about that, maybe you will make mine, is you can add a weight map that's going to define, okay, this area, you don't touch it. And this is where you say, okay, use this weight map. So for the moment, we don't have one, so you will let it to none, and you just click on accept. And you can see that in morph Zbrush, he created the Zbrush folder. We have the option of beautiful figs. If I put a 100, yeah, our morph work. But like you can see, we really don't have the same details that here. And it's normal because we are importing only this version. And DAZ just move it a little more with algorithmic. So if we really want to have the details back, we need to use displacement map. So we go back in Zbrush. If my Zbrush want to open, it sometimes happens to me when you go back from software to software. It's really annoying. Most of the time just move with the window using the Windows shortcut. So I have put back the window on my other screen, put it back here. Sorry. So for creating the displacement map, I put my figure back in my higher subdivision level, and I go in Z plugin, multi-map exporter, and a selector. So here I was having normal, but only displacement map. And this is going to create the displacement map based on the default UV of your character. The UV are the map, the skin map of your character. So map size, I put it at 4000, so it's equivalent to a 4K map for having the better resolution. My border is, like you say, overpen border thickness. I put it at 16. Never experimented on more. If you add more, if you want to add more details, and we want, you go in displacement map, and here you can change the settings of how to create your map. So this is the difference of how do you say that? The difference in calculi. Okay, I'm starting again. Zbrush is going to use the result of a calcul between your highest resolution map and your lowest resolution map. So it's going to look at the two and see the difference between the two. Here you can change the settings for the lowest subdivision that is going to use. You can see like, okay, I don't want to use subdiv 1, I want to use subdiv 2 because it's a little smoother. I've experimented with that after talking with Futa Prisoner, because for him he used the subdiv 2. And yes, I think that you have smoother details in the map. It's something that you need to try for yourself, see the difference, and see what is best for you. But the two is working and the two have amazing result. Adaptive, we don't want that. Smooth UV, we don't want that. Mid, I put it at 0.5, I let it there. DPS subpix 0. We want free channel. So, for me, if I activate 32 bits and EXR, it's not working. Zbrush is making blank file. I don't know why. I've talked again with Futa Prisoner, and for him he used 32 bits and EXR. So try it, look at the map. If you see details on the map, it's working for you. Good, use it. For me, it's not working, so I'm staying T format. If you have a solution for that, if you find it on other forum, please send me a message. I would love to try to resolve this problem. The scale, I don't really understand, but for me, if you change the scale, it changes the number that you need to input in DAZ for the minimum and maximum displacement strength. So I usually put it in 40, and I know that with a scale of 40, my settings in DAZ is going to be between 0.5 and 1. It's how we work. Intensity 1. Gate scale is going to estimate, like how Zbrush said it, is going to estimate the scale for current subso. Before that I was using that. Now I just use a fixed number for having continuity between my displacement map. So when you have changed everything, you can go in create all maps. It's going to open you a folder. So for me, I have Zbrush here. In my documents, I create a new folder like test. I'm going to call it this one. Test is already existing, so it's going to be new folder. Okay. You go in this folder and you put the name of the map. So test map. Save it. And now you can see Zbrush that is making, so he go back between subdiv 1, subdiv 5, subdiv 1, subdiv 5 for each body map that you need to do. So the head, the legs, the arms, the body, everything. All maps are created and exported, 43 seconds, perfect. So now I can go back in DAZ and apply my map to my body. So go in surface, arms, displacement map, browse. Okay, Zbrush, new folder, and looking for the map. So we can see that now in the folder we can see map. If I click on open, and open the one that we created, this is a displacement map. So this is a normal body deformation, so not a lot of difference between the minimum and maximum. And here in black we can see where the difference is the most intense. You can also see that he takes so the between the figs in the internal parts and didn't smooth it. So it's why you need to be careful with that. And you can see still the clay tubes on it. Okay, so we are in arms, so I'm going to select the arms, put it at 2, body, body, head, head, and legs, legs. Okay, we go in skin. We're going to try first with 0.5, 0.5, and 5 of subdivision level. Okay, now array renders. And boom, we can see that now we have our details back. So this is a problem. It happens when your two maps don't have the same settings. So if I go between the legs and the body ones, we have the same settings. It happens sometimes it happens. I don't know why. Usually what I do is I'm not erasing, but I clearing the settings and put it back the map. But yeah, this is how I work. This is how I made displacement map. And this is how you can make your own now and create your amazing morph. So have fun, experiment, try some new things, and see what you can do. Have a good evening, and already hoping to see you use these tutorials and create amazing morph for your character. Have a good day.